We got other games. This one was a heartbreaker for a lot of us. But shout out the Grizzlies. Spurs, Grizzlies last night. No Ja, no Devin Vassell for San Antonio. Jaren Jackson finished with 21-9. Cam Spencer, 21-8.
There's another one?
It's crazy. Wemby had 30 off the bench. He played 21 minutes. Now, this was a close one. It came down to the wire. And the big topic of conversation is the fact that Wemby, still on a minutes restriction, still coming off the bench in the game, had a 30-point night, but there was 3:45 left in this bad boy. He's out. He doesn't come back in. Spurs basically lose at the buzzer. A lot of talk, Chandler, about this one, and if it's right.
So it's right long term, right?
Okay.
It is right to be extremely cautious with this freak of nature, franchise player that is arguably going to be one of the greatest players of all time. I get that. I get toeing the line with being aggressive with the minutes and the load management and everything. I totally get it. Now what hurts is when you have a game like this where they have a chance to win. They most likely do win if they allow him to finish the game. They've already have him coming off the bench to space out his minutes and have him available at the end of the game. Then they messed up the rotations to where he's still not starting in his rotation, his minutes are off, and then they can't even finish the game. So I think they botched that a little bit. And in the first place, being on a minute restriction is horrible. You have no rhythm. You're forcing things you normally wouldn't. You press. It's just not an ideal situation. Now they have him coming off the bench, which I love it. It's innovative. They tried it. As soon as those minutes go up, obviously he's going to come back in the starting lineup. I just feel like this was a missed opportunity of a winnable game where, no doubt in my mind, they win this game if he just finishes the game.
Well, they were up like 10 or 11.
No doubt in my mind. So it's out of his hands too. Like it's a shitty situation. Honestly, minute restrictions are the worst, and they're out of the players and coaching staff's hand. This is all from above.
It's all training. Wait, who's making this call?
Like the medical director, the ownership, the front office. Like the coach has no say, and the player really has no say. It is it's completely out of his hands. So I'm imagining he's livid, right? Like
absolutely.
I was gonna say, Boogie, you've dealt with this.
I've dealt with it. I had a similar situation when I was coming off my Achilles with the Golden State Warriors. And, you know, it was a really uncomfortable situation for me as well because I was more so of a rhythm guy, and you know I would spend maybe the first 2 minutes of a game just finding my rhythm, getting my engine going, things of that nature, especially when you're coming off the bench. So it can be uncomfortable. It can be a bit awkward, especially if you are a rhythm guy. And obviously when it comes to missing time, your rhythm will be off.
Right.
So just to jump back into the fire and think you'll leave right where you left off, that's not a realistic situation. So it is a frustrating thing. It's also a hard balance to find because obviously you want to go out there, you want to play within the team concept, all of these things, but you also individually want to find your own rhythm so you can be the best version of yourself. So it's a hard balance to find, and it can be very frustrating at times. But when it comes to this situation, the only thing, obviously I think this is the right move. This is a project that you want to last for the next 15 years. It isn't just about the right now. So with all that being said, I do think they're going about it the right way. The only thing I would change differently is to try to manage the minutes to where he can end the game.
I thought that was the whole point of him coming off.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
I would have loved to see him be at, being at the end of this game to the point where they had a greater chance of winning the game. So that's the only thing I would change differently. But from a player's perspective, it is a tough thing to deal with, and it's a hard thing to kind of find balance with.
I'll tell you this, at least they're just being proactive with him. It's not like a Joel or Zion situation where they've had serious injuries and now they're kind of managing. And
maybe they learned from theirs.
Exactly. They're looking around saying, I don't ever want to be in this position they are, so they are trying to limit all those, those opportunities to do that, which I get. And again, when you have a rare talent like him, you have to be extremely cautious, but I want to see him play.
Look at it like you're budgeting money. I feel like it could have been budgeted differently last night. The extenuating circumstances of a close game, he's just standing there. And you can see him just...
But I'm telling you right now, even if he said, I want to play, I want to finish the last 3 minutes, there's no.
Is that what happened? How does that work? To the
Spurs' defense, though, this is an organization that has, kind of created their own blueprint when it comes to how they deal with their players and their long-term longevity.
Yeah.
At a certain point, when it came to load management, this is something that the Spurs came up with. It was frowned upon. It was looked at as a weird thing, and to now it's contagious throughout the entire league. Everybody does it. So when it comes to the Spurs and how they operate, when it comes to dealing with their players, their longevity, keeping them healthy long term, I think they always have the correct blueprint moving forward. It's just for the rest of the league to kind of, catch up and catch on. So to their defense, you have to kind of respect it based off their history. But at the same time, we would have all loved to see Wemby finish that game out and give them a chance.
For real. I was yelling at my TV.
And no one's had a player like him before. It's new for them. They're trying things, so I respect what they're doing. I just feel like the management of the minutes were a little wrong last night.
Shift it.
Maybe they thought because they were up.
They were up
big,
double.
so maybe they thought it was going to get out of hand, so they kept them in a little bit longer than they should have. But
when that clock hits 3 and you clearly this is a struggle, I think a lot of us were like, oh, they'll just put him in for the final 2.
That's where there's like some dorky medical director in the tunnel, and they're like, no, he's done.
Why's he gotta be dorky?
He's out.
Full sweat and a panic. No, it's over.
It's out.
Well,
and the coach will have to take him out.
Can I ask you a question? Where was this dorky medical person when Wemby's out there doing this little move?
This is ridiculous. This is more impressive than LeBron done.
This is
That's from the monks.
Yeah,
it's the monks, bro.
Dude, that is.
I need that contact, Wemby.
What even is that?
If he would have fallen, I would have lost my.
That is what's interesting. If you showed me that clip, I'd be like, that's the guy that can only play 20 minutes. That's the guy that can't finish the game, but he can roundhouse 3 balls.
That's what I'm saying. If you showed somebody that and said, and now this guy's not allowed to play the final 3 minutes.
He's not hurt. He's fine. Let him play.
My hamstring is screaming.
You guys, I love doing that. Y'all don't do kick moves all the time?
Karate in the garage?
I just did one when we came out here. I love it.
You did just kick me.
I love that move. It's fun. Wemby, me, we're the same. Okay, Wemby's obviously the name in the marquee. He's the big star on that team, right? But we have talked a lot about how great the guards have been all season long. We kind of need to look at when they're not great and how important they might actually be to this team overall. Castle, Fox, and Harper, not great shooting night. So I'm going to ask Boogie, obviously Wemby, big piece of the puzzle, but they can't have off nights at all. How important are they?
They're extremely important. This is their core group. This is their future moving forward. But obviously, bad nights happen in the NBA. This is just one of those nights for this group. Like I said, obviously, if Wemby is on the floor, this probably isn't even a topic this morning. They probably had a bad shooting night, but were still able to pull out a win if Wemby was on the floor to close the game. But this isn't anything to panic about. This isn't anything to worry about. Bad nights happen. I think moving forward, the fans, the organization, everybody watching this group still has the utmost confidence in these young guards. I think they'll continue to show and prove, but it's just one bad night. These type of things happen.
Yeah, ideally you want them all playing well the same night. That would be, and they're deep, and this team is so versatile. But I do agree that their guard play is extremely important. Those 3 guys, they have to be efficient. They have to get downhill. They have to get out in transition, because once they do that, it just opens up the whole floor for Wemby. And obviously we know Wemby's impact and his presence on the defensive end to even get the fast break starting. So I don't panic. I'm like, Boogie, I'm not panicking at this. This is such a deep, well-coached, tough, great defensive team, like great offensive team. I know the numbers where Fox struggles with Wemby. I'm not panicking at all at this. I just think that this team is so deep, and they're going to have a different guy. Like Champagne last night has 23 points. Wemby had 30 in 21 minutes. There's a lot of positives to take from this. Yes, they lost the game. It's going to happen in an 82-game series. There's going to be ups and downs, but
You got a Sohan spotting, a McLaughlin
Sohan's back in the rotation.
Yeah, well, I would say back in the rotation, but we saw him.
Yeah, again, these guards are going to be good, and they're not going to have many nights like this where they all struggle.
Well, the fun part is they play tonight against the Lakers, both obviously off the back.
Yeah, but I bet you there's no Wemby, there's no LeBron.
That's not official yet, but probably, right? Yeah.
The guy's on a minute restriction. He ain't playing back-to-backs.
I would not imagine he is. Although, Cavs, Pacers, that's another game.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on. 13th